Om Jai Swaha Mata.
Some of us living right in society here, in our country. Life like a hell. Others, honey and milk. They say, heaven you're getting honey and milk. Every day we're drinking Panchamrit, made with honey and milk. So we have heaven right here. Others, Fernandez, in hell. Devotees, it's right here. And right here is that river, Vaitarani, river of lust. So what the wise ones tell us, you see, I keep going back to India where all these practices originated. You have a high level of literacy. You think people understand about senses and mind and, all tattoo or something? They just want to do some simple practice and they're okay. And so the sages passed on these practices to them without explanation. And so it has been maintained from generation to generation, and rightly so. But many of us now still want to understand it in the same way that the ancients who didn't have that level of literacy misunderstood, just did the practice. This is why I take some time to explain. And I wish that the Babas could have this understanding to cut the nonsense out and try to get to the philosophy of the thing. So devotees, lust is a deadly river in which we all find ourselves drowning. What causes lust? What causes a person to become lustful? The senses. I perceive the world through the senses. So the senses go external, and you know how it is. You sit next to a beautiful lady, or not so beautiful one, whatever, right? I'll touch, tactile sense, the perfume, olfactory sense. Then you turn and watch you looking nice, and especially if she whispers some nothing in your ears while you're going through. Lust takes hold of you, senses gone through. And before you know it, you're slave to your senses. You degenerate. Devotees, even many aspiring yogis have fallen victim to lust. I don't know how many Swami, how many yogi become bhogi and rogi. Not every orange garb you see is orange garb, no? Sincere and genuine. Yogi became bhogi and rogi. They fell from grace. Lust. So the senses are the cause of the problem. And as I mentioned, go means senses as well as meaning cow. So when we give a gaudan, the go represent the senses that you're offering. That river that you put there, the little canal, whatever, is representing the river of lust. And you do your sankalpa and so on, you get a Baba, you give the cow to a Baba. So you hold the tail and you cross and they will give the Baba the cow. Why? That gaudan, the cow is like you're offering your senses to a spiritualist who will help you in the cleansing process, the disciplining process of the senses, so that you can be free from this river of lust. All understand what I'm saying? Now if you give this cow to a Baba who was than you, what is the purpose of the whole gaudan? And you wasting time? All you do is give a cow. And his senses rampant all over as usual. And Baba just so too. So devotees, all these sacrifices have deeper meaning. And I'm saying we must not just not do it. It's good to do it. And if you understand what I'm saying, it's not only when somebody dies, then you give a gaudan. As a matter of fact, you could do it when you're living. And Gita Dan symbolizes the same thing. The same thing. Okay? That you offer this to the holy man, he blesses you, and that energy he imparts to you, he helps you in the purification process, that the senses rise beyond, or they become more internalized. So you overcome the negativities that attract and distract you on the outside. So devotees, gaudan is an essential practice. Important. Unfortunately, you have all kind of pakhan in relation to gaudan. You see, some of them tell you have to put a gold thing on each foot of the cow. Now, good thing the cow have only 4 feet, yes? If you have more feet, if you have 8 feet, you're broke, after all that. You have to do this and you have to do that, and you have to make 2 footsteps and then stop and make a next footstep. All kind of parkand. All that was created by man to make you feel you're doing something unique and special and different. Devotees, and I'm fed up of this kind of attitude in life. This exploitation in the name of religion. I'm really fed up of it. So we are all caught up in blind ritual, not really understanding the essence of it. So you do go down, Baba take a cow, you maybe sell it or you give somebody to mine it, and he go on the usual way, he go guinea kick from inside. And you go on back as usual, they go on them kicking you from inside too. But the purpose are you holding? And you waiting when you're dead, the cow will take your course when you're swimming. Hold on, wait. Devotees, I take a very serious view of all these things. And I want you to understand, I am not saying not to do it. I am saying understand why you're doing it. Here, when we spoke of Govardhan Puja, Bhagwan Krishna explained everything. He asked the questions. You do not do things blindly. Bhagwan says, when you do things vidhi purbak, as opposed to avidhi purbak, there is a big difference. Some people interpret vidhi to mean the procedure. So your cow must go south, and you have to hold the cow tail, you can't hold the cow mouth. That is vidhi purbak. I say no, it's not only that, it's the understanding of it. As opposed to not understanding what you do, just follow blindly. More bhakti. Bhagavan says, when you do what you have to do with the right understanding, right away you get results. But if you don't do, or if you do what you have to do without the right understanding, blind following, it takes a long time, if at all, for you to get the fruits of those actions. This is why we keep emphasizing Gyan Bhakti. Understand why you do what you do. And this is why, devotees, I take this time to explain so many things. The stories, many people will know these stories. You could read these stories yourself. But to see these kind of explanations, you won't get it so. Somebody asking if it's on the internet, go look and see. Search, download it. This is why I keep saying it's good to study with a guru. Somebody who has experience, somebody who is sincere and genuine, who not out to fool you and take you for a ride. Okay? Enough said. So devotees, all these practices, they mean something. So in a puja, the different offerings we may make, even in Shraddha Karam, those things, they mean something. The Mahapat may not understand because he is just looking at the material aspect of it. So that I'm saying do what you have to do. But understand that when you give that dawn, you know who benefits? And this is the question I want to come to. If you come to that, like for, say, dasgat, shaving and so on. When the soul goes, fire can't burn it, it can't feel hot, it can't feel cold. It is unaffected, it is untainted. The soul is pure consciousness. So why I offer all these things? It is for me. It is for you. Don't any Mahapat to take it. You offer the cloth, he take the cloth and I sell the cloth. But you, Laja, your modesty is preserved. Yeah. All the different, what is promised by the various offerings, comes back to you, the individual. Comes back to you, the individual. So the lamp you offer, that lamp is a lamp of wisdom, Gyan. They put a lamp there so, because they say hell dark, so you will see. Devotees, a Gyan is all around. A Gyan enveloping Gyan. The gift of the lamp will bring us great enlightenment. The intellect becomes enlightened. So to all these different actions, the dakshina you give tends to reduce the ego a little bit, though sometimes people's ego is built. I give so much and so much and so much, and you advertise it. That is irrelevant. What you give is not yours. God is a giver. But you do it in the right attitude, it means giving up of yourself. And therefore you become more and more less egoistic, less self-centered. All these different gifts that we give, we are the ones to benefit by giving those gifts. Not the departed person. He gone by. When he living, if he had a chance to do it, he would have gained a lot of merits. And this is why I keep saying that when somebody dies, the soul goes on. Anteshti karma, that is the end. That is the end. Their karmas will take them where they go. I explained all this from since the first night. Dundhukari Katha. Whatever we do after that, It is our way of repaying our debt of gratitude to all those who have gone before. And this is why we need to do it, because he who takes without giving is a thief. Gita doesn't subscribe to that. Bhagwan frowns upon those individuals who cannot give back. And 5 debts we all owe, to remind you: debt to God, debt to the rishis, debt to the pitris, debt to society, and debt to the lower forms of creation. When somebody dies, especially, these 5 debts are repaid on our part. On our part. Marriage will go to the departed, yes. We can pray for somebody else, yes. Because why? They planted good seeds. They taught me these values. So if I maintain them, these values, they also benefit. All right? And I want to make this quite clear. It will take some doing to get this out of people's head. Sometimes you worry, you're near one gone. You're so accustomed that when you hear you're giving him food, you want to, if he must be hungry, where he gone? He ain't hungry, you have to be hungry. He not hungry. He more comfortable when he was here. But we hold on to these things, create a problem for ourselves. And that soul goes on. There's reincarnation. The soul reincarnates itself. And most times in better circumstances, once the karmas are good in this life. But we hold on to all these kind of things. I'm trying to get people to let go of these kind of things, devotees. Aage chale. Sri Ram said, Aage chale. His father died. Yes, he cried. Tatas lakshan. He did what he had to do. And he went forward. He went forward. Aage chale. Leaving everything else behind. Psychologically becoming different. You are on this journey alone. Ram hai Atma, Atma hai Ram. As we go through the forest of the whole process, we meet. I like to put it like this, the boat like a river flowing. Sometimes 2 leaves bounce up. They go for a little while. Then a little current, they separate. One gone so, one gone so. Sometimes one gone stick up by the bank, one till the middle part, they go straight down to the ocean. That one they had to wait for next flood to come to wash him down. You understand what I'm saying? We are in this river of life. All of us, sometimes we are brought together. A current brings us together. Sometimes very same current separates us. Never to meet again in this form. But ultimately everything goes to the ocean. It becomes one with the ocean. So what happens here? This is why we see, while I'm together on this journey, I make the best use of it. I don't waste it. But when separation comes, it could be the final. Let's go forward. And if you follow what I'm saying here, you have many people saying that somebody dies and, like when the lady dies, you put the sindur, so she has to go with the sindur. Right? The husband put the sindur, so she has to go with the sindur. If the man dies first, put the sindur and rub it off, because nobody else must put sindur for you. Yeah? And why? Because for 7 lives, you want the same husband. Ask some people, they could tell you. They even want him in this life again. For 7 lives. Yeah. What stupidness you telling me? And this kind of old talk. For 7 lives, that is Romeo and Juliet kind of stupidity. Yeah. We are together now. Next life you could born back as a lady, But I have to careful what I'm saying, because these days lady marrying lady too. And men marrying men. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that the circumstances are not the same, devotees. Life is a process. We keep going, and we go into different environment, different circumstances to gain certain experiences to help us in our spiritual evolution back to Godhead. So when you say 7 lives, I want to have the same husband, you're real stupid. They make no sense. That is only for mental gratification. Okay? This is why I say, ye ghari na jaye beat, live this moment. When it goes, it goes. Aage chale. Aage chale. My wife will be the first one to say, thank God I am here for 7 lives. Yeah. 7 lives, not another one. One good. I learned plenty from this one. Yeah. So devotees, a lot of things are said, but the understanding is not there. I've also explained where the soul itself, it's difficult to describe the soul. They tell you the soul passes through 16 villages. And see the superficial thinking, what causes all these problems. And I've explained the 16 villages, all within this body, this city of the body. You have the 11 life principles and Pancha Tattva. The soul is in here, as we say. The body is made of the Pancha Tattva. You have 11 life principles. Those are the 16 villages that the sages put in this term. This is how they term it. They don't mean like a village like in India, like Arangwes, like Pinal, like Felicity. They mean that. They don't mean that. It's not a geographical place. But even in Trinidad, many of the pundits who want to read Garu Puran, they don't understand the head from the foot and they talk this rubbish. 16 villages you have to pass through. Where the villages are in India? Where? In Afghanistan? Right here. The soul leaves everything behind. The 16 villages, it goes on. Nobody knows where. Devotees, I don't talk about where the soul goes because I do know. You can see the soul? All that again is for psychological reason. So people hold on to that and they get a sense of comfort. And there's a particular great individual in Trinidad who communes with dead souls. I mean, the departed souls. You have a problem, you call the radio station and she says, my father died so and so. Yes, yes, yes. I spoke with him, he's very happy. How she know? And you know what? There's reincarnation. Is the soul born back? Which part is? The question I keep asking, people talk about the Pitris. Where's Pitra Lok? Again, the question is asked, where's Pitra Lok? Is there some place where all the souls who have departed go and sit down there and wait? And Bhagavan says the soul embodies itself. So where is Pitra Lok? Right here. Right here. And then if you want to broaden it, all these things that Hindus do, how come Christians don't have to do that and Muslims either? Why? The Hindus, the soul have a religion. So it's a Hindu soul and a Muslim soul and a Christian soul. So God makes differences between them. Does that make any sense to you? Not to me. Not to me. So devotees, a lot of these things have to be clarified. Understanding has to be there. You can't take things superficially. Alright? But what I am saying is that a lot of the practices we have, some of them identify us as to who we are and what we are. Even if you don't fully understand, we carry them out. But we make every effort to get to the understanding of these practices. And I am all for what doesn't make sense, cut it out. Cut it out. It's neither here nor there. And I keep saying, when the psyche of a people change, when that psyche change, then we could change the practices and so on to suit time, place, and circumstances. Time, place, and circumstances. You see, in India, every day there is some celebration. Every day in the villages. Those people suffering so much, but they occupy themselves, their psychological thing. Psychological. Trinidad, you could celebrate everything every day. Once a year, Janamashmi come and we have trouble. We have to work. I can't make so late. I have to go to a party. Different things, excuses you make. Trinidad. The psyche changes. So all these points we have to understand. And one last thing let me say with respect to this. You may believe me, you may accept what I am saying, you may understand everything I am telling you. You may wish that you can bring about change. But when you go back home and your Baba tell you how they talk in Shupnesh, you do so. You can't tell him no. That is the control the Baba have over us. You can't tell him no. And then sometimes they now and then they know more than the Baba. But they now say, so, Baba you know is so. But them now, you lucky they will meet a man like me. I will show them who know. Time. You see, they want to hold on to it. It's a piece of power now. Everybody want to feel they know and want to exert their power. And control. And devotees, this is what religion has become. A question of control. How much I can control you? And I don't believe in that. If I have to control you, let me do so through knowledge now. And the more you know, the more I have to know. If I have to be ahead of you. Simple. So devotees, I just talk, I initiate all these things, and I hope in time to come, people are strong enough and brave enough to bring about change. But remember what I am telling you, you don't change for change's sake. You analyze it closely. There is a philosophy which we analyze, and from that philosophy, we can make adaptations to suit. You don't change for change's sake. So as I explained, there's a reason for all these gifts that we give. Therefore, you carry out the practices, it redounds to our benefit. These people in the city of Mathura, who made various offerings to Krishna, they all benefited based upon the offerings they made. There was one devotee, a young girl, whose name was Kubaja. Kubaja. She was very, very beautiful in face, but the body curved like an S. Like an S. And for those who understand a little bit of medical science, today we call that scoliosis. Acute scoliosis, the bending of the spine. Some have congenital scoliosis, they are born with it. And some, as you get older, you develop it. If you notice, many people, as you get old, they bend. Why they bend? Because the head gets heavier, the spine bends. Scoliosis. Sometimes posture causes it, or lack of proper posture. When scriptures tell you, asana, sit properly, that's what I mean. But you see today's world, computer. Fellas sit down there and wholly bending the head. And digging. Next thing you see, by next will remain bend. He develops a scoliosis. It happens because of posture, because of lifestyle. Devotees, this girl was born like that. An S, spine like an S. So, crooked, yeah, but beautiful face. What she will be doing? In India, hot climate, so the chandan wood, she would rub it. And you know, many people go India and they see the chandan wood. And some of our people, devotees, I don't know what to say about them now. Anything they see, buy it. They have the money. You go use it? You go use it? So one of them buy chandan. Guruji, you can buy chandan? I say, yeah, buy it. I say, but you have to buy the stone to rub it through. They may know that you have to rub it, you know. And you see Baba get old, Baba can't rub chandan. I get too old for that. I want to use you where you make one. You'll touch him. But buy everything. Devotees, chandan wood is cool, very, very cool. So what they will do, they will rub that chandan, that was her job, to make sandal paste. And they will rub it on their bodies. It is to cool their bodies. We put chandan here in the forehead, devotees. I'll ever ask why put chandan in the forehead? Decoration. Devotees, we use different forms, but the real chandan in the put here, it has a cooling effect. And you see right here, I mentioned earlier in the yagya, this here is the Triveni, where the three rivers merge. Ira Nari, Pingla Nari, Sushumna Nari, a very important point in the body. And there in the subtle body we have what is called the Agya Chakra. The sixth chakra, and the seventh one above Sahasrara Chakra. Devotees, very important point in the body. And here there's a special gland. Perhaps the doctor's person could tell me. The name slipped my mind right now. Pituitary gland, I can't even say it good. The pituitary gland, something like that. Very important gland. When we put that chandan here, devotees, it is to help, to create a positive vibration. Here we have what is called the third eye, the eye of higher perception. The chandan helps that. The chandan helps that. Okay? The cooling effect is to burn away negativities. That is the cooling effect. When you burn away negativities, a cooling effect takes hold of you. And that you rise to different levels. Not intellect, not so much intellect, but more intuition. So there is intellect and there is intuition. That chandan helps us. That chandan helps us. So devotees, the reason for the chandan particular places, but normally that chandan, to keep them cool and so on, is a form of decoration, adoration of the divine. When Bhagavan Shri Krishna saw that, he approached her and said, "Oh, beautiful faced one, would you give to me that chandan?" Now devotees, who would see Krishna Bhagavan and not get carried away with love? Even the males will get carried away with love. What about for this poor girl? When she saw Krishna, not love was different. A love struck her heart. Beautiful face, deformed body, but that doesn't stop the emotion. Deformity doesn't stop emotion. Devotees, love in her heart. When Bhagavan asked for that chandan, without any hesitation, she applied the chandan to his body. She applied that with love. Bhagavan says, "Patram pushpam phalam tuyam," whatever you offer to me with love, I personally accept. Devotees, when she offered that to Bhagavan with such love, Bhagavan knew that people would laugh at her, or people have been laughing at her because of her deformity. And you know how cruel society could be? Bhagavan decided to rectify that problem. He knew that love in her heart. And devotees, you know what Bhagwan did? In front of all. So he killed some. Animals he killed. Wicked ones he killed. He blessed some. Now look at he's going to transform some. Bhagwan displaying all different kind of powers to send a lesson to Kans. But as I said, none is so blind as he who has eyes and refuses to see. Devotees, Bhagwan placed his foot upon this girl's foot. Both feet. He just pressed her down. And middle finger and index finger placed under her chin. And his normal mystical word, pressing down and pulling up. Mai hu. That Mahamant Soham. Lo and behold, she became perfectly straight. Bhagwan removed that deformity. So that when you look at her now, beauty to its utmost. Beautiful. Beautiful face, now beautiful body. Bhagwan removed that in front of the eyes of all. They were amazed. Look at this miracle. She is no longer crooked. She is quite straight and ecstatic. And then devotees, she said, "Oh Lord, I want to invite you to come to my home." Bhagwan said, "Not now. I have a mission. But after I'm finished, I will come to your home." And so devotees, she returned home, coming into contact with Krishna Bhagwan and being transformed in this way. She could think of no one else or nothing else except Bhagwan Shri Krishna and his infinite mercy. And so devotees, Katha goes on. Kans devotees met his two nephews. Kans was Imamu, you know. Mother cousins like Mamu self. Devotees, Kans apparently smiling with them. But the wicked man smiled, but watch him. Ramayana tells you. You see the dusht. Though, look at them so, no? The dusht is compared to like a whip or to like a snake. When the snake bends, what is it about to do? When the whip bends, it's about to inflict pain. When the wicked man comes stooping, watch out, he's waiting to strike. Our scripture straight, you know, devotees. Plenty gyan. But Bhagwan knows. So what they did, a whole set of stories, devotees, a bow that they broke and whatever. Bhagwan Shri Krishna and Balram, they were challenged by two powerful wrestlers, Mustik and Chanur. See them fellas, them sumo wrestlers joking from them fellas. Bhagwan and Balram and Krishna destroyed these two of them. And devotees, you know, plans put in place. If this were to happen, then attack Krishna and Balram and kill them. And devotees, who could kill God? I keep saying that. At the end of it all the negative ones were destroyed, and Bhagwan Shri Krishna rushed to Kans. And Kansa ko kesha se khicha, held him by his hair and dragged him down and one blow with his hand. He had to use too much. And Kans was dead. He destroyed Kans. He, that demonic force that terrorized so many. And devotees, Ugrasen, Kansa's father, that very, very righteous individual who was imprisoned by his son, he was now freed from the prison. Vasudeva and Devaki, now freed, and for the first time, they came into contact with the real sons, Balaram and Shri Krishna. And you can understand how that meeting would be, devotees. Joys, merriment on all sides. The dusht was destroyed. The city of Mathura was freed from the reign of terror. Bhagwan fulfilled his mission up to this point in time. And he did pay a visit to Kubaja. That we can't call her the crooked one anymore. And devotees, she expressed her love to Bhagwan, she praised him, she glorified him, attained a great state of ecstasy. Bhagwan brought fulfillment to her life. Now, one thing about this crooked thing, devotees, that is story too, eh? But you know what the crooked one is? The crooked one in every one of us. Kundalini. When it's like an S. If it was Sesame Street, it's S. Serpent. S. This is how the serpent is. When the serpent is there coiled up, devotees crooked, then we are very worldly. The serpent Kundalini is represented as a serpent, 3.5 coils, its tail in its mouth at the base of the spine, Muladhara chakra. So what Bhagwan did here is also a yogic technique to awaken Kundalini. Putting his foot upon the ground, Earth is Muladhara Chakra, that force at Prithvi Tattva. Yeah, there Kundalini lies. And devotees, index finger, ring finger, the purpose of life, Jiva Atma, Sattvic Prakriti, that coming together there, make your sacrifices, what you do? Awaken Kundalini. And once Kundalini is awakened, means she comes straight up. Yeah? All deformities in life disappear. All negatives disappear. All. And one identifies totally with divine consciousness as symbolized by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So this little episode also has yogic dimensions. So devotees, Bhagavan championed the cause of all these, and Ayodhya Mathura city was put back into a state of peace, happiness and contentment.
Om Jai Swaha